since the 60s maybe. Definitely the 70s. So I got to take pictures of the place. They're going to remodel it. It's going to be looking, I think they have an African-American young man that was one of the architects or the chief architect that's going to remodel this CTA station. Cool. It should look real cool. I should take pictures of it before they remodel it, because you're going to forget what it looked like when they redo it. So here we are at the train station. The train station. Okay, so they working on they digging, they gonna repair it. Here's Gillespie coming up. Here we go. Here's Gillespie. Where's Gillespie at? This looks kind of new over here. Gillespie. I should get out and walk around. Let me get out and walk around and show you Gillespie. See, I really should. There's a website. I put the graphic up that shows you how well the school is doing. You know, this is based off a standardized test. I know y'all don't believe in standardized testing, which is cool, but I have to go back home. Maybe I'll look it up. I'm just so lazy. I do a TV show, and that's why I don't do a real TV show, because I'm lazy. Well, I got a regular job. This is just a damn hobby, y'all. But I was saying, I really should get out right here. I should get out right here and just start videotaping. Let me do that. Yeah, it's kind of noisy over here because right off the expressway. See, there's the expressway. There's the L train. You can see the Sears Tower way. Man, I can barely see in this little. Okay, there's the Sears Tower way down there. We're about, I don't know, 10 miles from downtown Chicago. So 95th Street. So it's 93rd Street. So we're 93 blocks from Madison, the dividing line of north and south. So I know you may not be able to hear me too well because the expressway's right behind me. This is Gillespie. See, they had a protest. I told you, had a protest over here at the train station, talking about police brutality, woo 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 woo, right? And they should have been here. Oh, well, during the day. Come over here to Gillespie, because everyone. They say, now I'm just an individual. I don't have no kids here, so I come up in here, Mr. Sims, you're not a millionaire. You ain't successful. We don't want to hear what you got to say. Get the hell out of here. What I'm trying to say though is that if you don't, it's hard to come as an individual, so you have to come as a group where you say, okay, we got a little group here, we're gonna donate money to Gillespie, and the goal is very simple. We have to make sure the boys, especially the boys who are struggling in school, can read and write at grade level. We heard the statistics, we heard these the cliches and all that many times. If a young man's not reading and writing by 3rd grade or 4th grade, he can't read and write at grade level, he's damn near doomed. He may be on the way to prison. He may be on the way to murdering somebody, robbing somebody, not going to college, not going to finishing high school. So we have to make sure our boys can read at grade level. Now, I don't know what's going on. Look at, they got a nice sign here. I don't know what's going on at Gillespie, but Gillespie needs a PR firm. Well, I need to do our own PR to tell the good things about the story. I mean, good stories about the school, and also talk about the students who are struggling, like I struggled 45 years ago, who are improving those students who are struggling. You got a kid at Gillespie, any grammar school, talking about, I don't like school, I don't like the teacher, I don't do my homework. I mean that's a recipe for disaster, people. So we got to form groups to come in and make sure that our young men, our boys in these grammar schools, the little ones and the big ones, are reading, writing, grade level. They like school. Some maybe doctors and lawyers going to the STEM field. Some just maybe, which is nothing wrong with being a plumber, a carpenter, electrician. Nothing wrong with that at all, people. Nothing wrong at all. This is Gillespie. We need to go in these schools and try to help the teachers and the parents and the children do well in school. That's what it's all about. Help the young people do well in grammar school. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna show you next. Because I showed you Gillespie. And this is what it's all about, people. It's about clean neighborhoods, safe neighborhoods, excellent schools. And the African American community, we had to sit down and try to figure out how we're going to be viable as a community for the next, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We really got to sit down and figure out how we're going to be viable. And it really starts and ends at the home. I know that. Then the public schools. The public schools are really critical. You don't get a decent education in public schools, you're screwed. It's not going to be good. But here in these cities, I don't care if you're in the north like Chicago here, or the northern city, or a southern city, or out west, the deep south. It's the same. It's the same thing. How are we going to be as a people viable? As a group of people. Not like in Chicago, it's very segregated. We know that. And when the black neighborhood is like, this is on WBEZ radio here in Chicago, the public radio station. They said that if the black neighborhood is 40% black, it's not going to gentrify. It's not going to tip and gentrify. There are some neighborhoods that will gentrify as we move out and implode and empty out some of these neighborhoods. But there's some that will not empty out. Not empty out, but they will not gentrify. Let's say that. It ain't going to happen. Now, I'm talking about Chicago. I'm not talking about someplace else. This is Chicago. Other cities got, have their own. It's like Detroit. One of the reasons about Detroit is Detroit because it's too black. And we supposed to say, let's pool our resources. We got resources. Come on, people. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I told you before, I'm ready to move. I had enough of the old neighborhood. I'm here in the old neighborhood because we putting 2 kiddies through college, putting our son and daughter through college, which costs a lot of money. I know a lot of folks ain't gonna do it, and I don't blame them because it's very, very expensive. And I don't care if you go to Chicago State or UIC or whatever, it's gonna cost you some money. And that's the deal. So we're still here because we putting these children, my children through college, and after that's done, and if we do have any money left over, I do want to move. I just want to be around a more, let's say, vibrant community. These communities could be vibrant, but the point is that we have too many black boys who are uneducated, who have no work ethic, ain't got no home training. It's not a lot. It's like a 10 or 20%. That's all it is. It's a small percentage. It may be only like 10 to 20% of African Americans that make all of us look bad. Cause see, remember they lump us all up as one group. You know that. But you got the elite African Americans, elite blacks. You got the working class African Americans or working class blacks, whatever term you want to use. You got the underclass, the black. Julius Wilson talked about the black underclass a long time ago. We ain't figured it out. The poor will always be among us in a capitalistic society. It's going to be that way. But the point is that the poor ain't got to be ignorant and stupid. I know it takes resources to make people not ignorant. I understand that. That's why some people say we need reparations, because it takes resources. Resources. Remember, most African Americans, I know, like I said, 80% of us, we send our children to school, do the best they can. They come out okay. I mean, and life is good. The point is that it's that underclass, it's that ignorant class that didn't get the message. That's why we have to have a mass movement that says delay having children. I mean, that's why I was telling you earlier about they ran me out of the public schools, because I would tell people, listen here, kiddies. If you don't have any children over the next 10 years, man, life is going to be good. I mean, just don't have any children. Just delay it. Just wait till your late 20s, early 30s. If we just, like I said, if we just delayed having children, that would solve a lot of problems. And then once they get here, have a freaking plan. Make sure your children, I mean, I could have been a better parent. I know that. That's why culture is so important. If everybody's in school not doing well, you think that's what you do. If everybody's in school doing well, want to go to college or some other post-secondary education, then you get on that train. This is not rocket science, people. It's all culture. It's all who raised you. Where were you raised? What schools you went to? I mean, that's why you talk to anybody. You talk to children who go to really good schools and have really good parents. Man, like I said, what I say, you talk to children, little children, big children, who went to really good schools and had really good parents and really good teachers and really good peers. The peers are very important. I mean, you have to have good peers. Peers are super important. There are people won't send their children to certain schools because the kids in the school are ghetto. They hood. And you don't want your children around kids who are ghetto and hood because they may pick up some of that ghetto-ness and that hoodness. Do you understand that? You don't want to raise your children around children who want to fight, who are angry, ain't got no daddy to put them in check, ain't got no mama put them in check, and they angry. They want to fight. They don't want to do well in school. They want to run around the street. You don't want your children around those children. This is the dirty little secret black folks don't want to talk about. One reason why the neighborhoods continue to implode and you have this black stratification and all this kind of classism and everything, because people don't want their children around ghetto children. Now, it's not the child's fault they ghetto. Let's face it, it ain't their fault. Mama don't know no better. Daddy don't know no better. And a lot of African Americans have moved away from the old neighborhood for good reason. But somebody's got to stick around and enlighten the masses. Somebody. But you know, when I was young, I used to think people were smart, and I realized a lot of folks ain't smart. Either they're not well read, they're not well traveled. It's not their fault. They're not well read, not well traveled, or just damn ignorant. And here we are. I used to think with people who had a college degree, they were smart, and they was able to pass the damn class. That's what made them smart. They're not stupid intelligent. And also, a lot of folks, they don't want to tell the kiddies the cold truth. The cold truth you tell. When I used to go to public schools, I tell the kiddies the cold truth. See, this is what you get in Chicago. A lot of abandoned houses because our families are destabilized. We live in a deindustrialization of America, global economy. Like I said, the broken families. It takes more than one income to make it these days. It's a lot of different factors. It is what it is. Man. Okay, where was I? Well, I would tell the kiddies the truth. This is a global, international world we live in. In America, they bring people from all around the world to work here. They don't need your black labor. They don't need black folks no more like they once did. They really don't. They got computers and robots. Computer software replacing human beings every day. They don't need you. Now, that's the bad part, people. They get upset when I say that. The good part is, if you can write computer code, if you're a carpenter, lawyer, you got some skills, you're a doctor, you have a work ethic, at least have a work ethic, you could make it. But if you ain't got no work ethic, you can't stumble out of bed and think you're going to make $80,000 a year. Maybe one or two people can do that, but they're outliers. Most people can't.